How's it going, everybody? How you doing today? Well, I'm doing this video as a public service announcement of sorts, and I'll tell you, I actually don't enjoy doing videos like this. You know, there are a lot of people out there on YouTube who thrive on making videos talking about other people and trying to tear apart other beliefs or other ideas, and that's definitely not my path here on YouTube. You know, I just talk about things that interest me, but once in a while certain things come up that I just cannot help but express opinions on. And usually it's when I feel like somebody's being suckered or scammed. And in this particular case, there is a particular product which is called Scalar Healing. And the idea is that I don't want to get into the technicalities of it. Scalar Energy is supposedly this energy that can be used to heal remotely. So there's a guy, his name's Tom Palladino, and he has a website where he says, you know, a free 15-day trial, you know, you won't be charged, and, you know, it seems like, well, you know, it must be free, it's great. Of course, if you choose to partake in this, you know, whatever you want to call it, it's like $175 per month. I spoke with a couple of people who themselves had been involved and actually ripped off and felt, you know, scammed. But there's no information online really about this. If you look up Scalar Healing, and you'll find his website, and you'll find all his great satisfied customers and his reports. Now, generally, I don't want to tear down everything that people believe in, and pseudoscience, just because something isn't proven doesn't mean that it's pseudoscience and it's fake, and there may be very well something to this. So I asked the guy on his own videos about a year ago, because I made another video like this about a year ago. I asked him about it, and he proceeded to give me a response, you know, a decent response about how, you know, thanks for inquiring. And I said, well, can you show me how this thing actually works? And he sent me basically a link to the website. And I said, I've already read the website and everything on it, but there's no scientific articles. This kind of went by the wayside and I let it go. And then just recently it came up again because I got an email from this, I can't remember what it's called. It's this group, Transformation into the New Paradigm. And it's this, they use words like quantum, 5-dimensional, you know, ascension, things like that. And somehow I got on their mailing list. So at least once or twice a month I get an email from them talking about these Nile River cruises on these fancy boats where you can go and get your chakras cleansed. And, you know, the spiritual New Age community has worn on me to the point where I see people who seem happy. You know, if you want to take on some particular method and use rocks and crystals and Reiki and healing, I'm not saying none of those things work. What I'm saying is that when you try to pretend like you understand how they work and make claims that are unsubstantiated, then it is buyer beware. But at the same time, people need to stand up for one another. So I don't want to get too much into this. On the website, basically what this is you send him a picture of yourself. And he puts the picture on this little machine and does whatever he does. Says some prayer or whatnot, I don't know. He's Christian based, so I don't know if he calls on the power of God or says some seance or whatnot. And he claims that by putting your picture on this machine and doing whatever he does, it will not only eliminate herpes, he says he's cured Ebola, herpes, and various diseases as well as cancer. So it disassembles these pathogens in your body, he says, and viruses. But at the same time, he claims it assembles over 180 nutrients in your body. I mean, the claims already on many of these products are outrageous, but when you're claiming it assembles nutrients in your body, what you're doing is saying you don't understand how basic biology works. And there's no way to prove or disprove this, of course, because you know, your body is always assembling and disassembling proteins out of amino acids. There's absolutely no evidence. So when I saw this, I emailed them and I said, because the place was sponsoring his little, you know, remote healing sessions. And I said, you know, I just wanted you guys to know that this whole thing is a scam, and it's kind of shameful that you're promoting this guy because, you know, there's nothing to prove it. So she sent me back an email saying, oh, well, I wasn't aware of that. Or is there any way? Are you sure? How do you know for sure it's a scam and it's a lie? And I said, because I've emailed him myself and got no response. So nothing came back. And then about an hour later, I get 2 emails in a row from a separate email server, one that's unrespondable to, but I believe was, I don't know if it was from Palladino or from that group or whatnot, and they said, "Hi Josh, here are some links to, the scientific studies or whatnot that have been done on this product." So I clicked on it, and it took me to their own webpage and a bunch of testimonials from people, Bob in Iowa, Sarah in Texas, who claimed that thanks to Tom's healing sessions, I've been herpes free. And they even post a lab report of a before and after, supposedly, showing that they don't have herpes any longer. And I'm sitting here saying, I responded in kind and said, if you want to send a link to studies, you don't send it to testimonials by people that can't be confirmed, by people who may have been taking other things at the time. I said there's a reason why they have scientific studies. And there's a reason why there's blind studies and double-blind studies, to make sure the doctors and the patients don't know what they're receiving. So what I came down to the conclusion is that if this is really working for people, it's a placebo effect. So, if it is placebo, some people would say, what's wrong with that? So long as it's working, if people think it's working, then it's working. I would say that I think a lot of people feel this way. I have two ways I feel about people who get taken by these. Either, hey, if you're dumb enough to fall for it, a charlatan, then you kind of get what you deserve. I mean, people are suckered every day. There's no magic healing, send somebody a picture and you'll be healthy, obviously. So, then on the other side of me, it says that some of these people, the kind of people who fall for this, are desperate people who may be sick, obviously, and have diseases, have illnesses, have cancer, and may bypass any other type of option in order to send this guy a picture and hope that they're going to be healed. And then if 1 out of 10 of them ends up going into remission, let's say, then they might attribute it to that, this Scalar Energy session. So I'm putting this out there because when I went to YouTube and tried to find, Scalar Energy scam, there was nothing. It was just a bunch of interviews with this Tom guy. So if you happen to be watching this, Tom, which you probably wouldn't be, I'm not calling you out so much as calling you out, if you will, if you know what I mean. It's not a matter of, it's not a personal thing. But if I find out that a person may be lying to people, then it becomes personal, because taking advantage of others, apparently it's $175 per month to have this done each month once you start getting charged. And I guess he has like a group rate where it's like $525 or something a month for like a group of 8 or something. And my question is, how much time does this guy spend looking at a picture and sending these, thoughts out through the universe to try to heal you, to make that kind of money? And I'm calling bullshit on it. So this is my contribution to anybody who maybe go to YouTube and say, I'm curious about this Tom Palladino guy, what does he have? And if Tom, if you are out there, I would urge you to actually send any type of scientific studies that you have, because all of us a lot of people are curious about this. I've read several forums, and a lot more people than me are interested in knowing more about this. It's not just the Scalar Energy, there's also the Scalar Energy quantum pendants that people are selling. And there was a big thing on the news a couple of years back about it. You can look these up online. They're about $150, between $50 and $150 depending on who you buy them from. But these healing pendants that are supposed to block bad vibes, bad energy, And what they found out was a certain brand of these that they were selling was made out of this rare earth minerals or something out in China. And they came to find out that they were actually slightly radioactive. Not enough to say it's going to do a major damage to you, but by wearing it next to your heart all the time, they were just saying the irony in wearing something that's supposed to protect you that ends up harming you. But there's people out there who really want to be healed, and they will pay anything for remote healing or somebody who claims to do healing. And the unfortunate part of that is that, there's probably something to remote healing and Reiki and acupuncture and all these different, traditional medicines and methods. I'm not disputing that there are still energy fields that we don't measure and we can't understand yet. I mean, I'm fascinated by the idea. I think what it is that when you really look up the word scalar energy and find out what it really means, and then you'll come back and see where I'm coming from. The idea that there's no measurable scalar energy. There's no device to measure scalar energy. And there's absolutely no way for these people to prove what they're doing actually does anything. So, if they can, I will stand corrected and make a rebuttal video or an apology video and say, hey, this thing works. But you need actual scientific studies. So that's all I got on that. And take care, everybody, and have a wonderful day. And be smart. Caveat emptor, buyer beware.